On this note, permit me to bring Miss Stella Akomolafe. Are you there? Miss Stella, are you there?
Oh, yes, please. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
All right. Thank you.
Can you hear me,
You
please? Just give me a sec here. I'm trying to, yeah, so that I can put on my video. Okay. All right, just give me a sec here. I'm just gonna pick off my background. Okay. Okay, right here. All right. Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me. Just give me a second here. Okay, so good day, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're listening to me. I'm honored to be here today.
Can you hold on, ma?
Hello?
Can you hold on, ma?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Perfect.
Okay.
We can hear you loud and clear. So we need to take a proper introduction of you. All right, thank you. So, Stella Akomolafe is a human resource professional. She's a program developer, educational consultant with a passion for building inclusive systems that empowers individuals and communities. Our work sits at the intersection of HR strategy, educational leadership, and immigrants' workforce integration. A strong foundation in community-based research and equity-center program development. 2 decades of experiences, Stella is a versatile and result-oriented professional. Expertise include leading teams, developing training programs, managing complex projects, and optimizing client certification and retention. She's a proven track record of having tax returns, implementing HRIS systems, and facilitating workshops, and consistently driving operational efficiency and organizational success. At this year, GACFOS 2025, Stella will be speaking on accelerating career growth and employability. Permit me on this stage to welcome to the audience. This is Stella Akomolafe.
Wow, thank you for that introduction. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm really so honored to be at this conference today. And I would like to extend a very big thank you to Dr. Ajulo for bringing me to such an important conversation, and especially to this global stage. You know, in a world where technology evolves, it evolves so faster than we graduate, how do we stay employable, let alone accelerating our careers? So we are here today to talk about something every single person, either online or you're listening to me, you are right there in person, you really care about it. And our careers, our employability, our future in a world that is constantly changing. I know that bothers a lot of students, a lot of people, because they wonder what comes after school, even while they're in school. So I hope to make this conversation more engaging. So if you are online, you want to get down to your laptop, because we're going to be doing some stuff, and that is how we want to engage this time around. And that is what we're going to do at this time. So now, I remember one of the clients I just, I just interviewed. She's a young graduate from one of the colleges, in diaspora here, especially in Canada. So she actually, though she studied business administration, but she didn't have, her resume wasn't so good. She's a fresh graduate, and she not even much of experience. But while interviewing, and my boss was just going to pass by her, and I just told him, I said, there's something about this girl that, she just had something that many applicants didn't. And one of the things she had was the clarity of what she wants, what she's all about, the clarity of her goal, the confidence. Then she has this strategic personal brand, the way she carried herself. She demonstrated as a blog. She showed portfolio. She did so many LinkedIn testimonial, all of the recommendations she was giving in past projects. And then she has a clear goal. Now, what do you think about that candidate? She just didn't get a job. She grew into a team lead in less than 1 year. And this has been my experience. And one thing is, employability in this world today is less about job seeking. It is more about value creation. And that is what I just want to put out there today. And that is what I want to tell everyone. So how relevant is this topic to us? With youth unemployment in Nigeria, over 33%, and with a similar, trend globally, it is no longer enough to graduate and you hope for the best. It is not enough to graduate and you sit down. You need a roadmap, a strategic one at that, for employability and career acceleration. So this section, we're gonna be dealing with a lot of stuff. So if you're right there, you're right there, if you're online, because you're gonna be typing in the chat. So if you have 30 seconds for yourself, and you need to do a pitch about yourself, I will give you 30 seconds. You need 30 seconds to think, then you will need 30 seconds to type it and just send it to the chat. I'm gonna be watching, my timing. So if you have 30 seconds to sell yourself, to give a pitch about your career, what will that pitch be? What will it be like? So I'm gonna wait for 30 seconds, and I want to see you sending that online. I want you to send that, if you are in person, get a sheet of paper in your notes that you're taking. I want you to write that down. In 30 seconds, what will the pitch be? You want to sell yourself to an employer, to a stakeholder, for a particular position. So what will it be? Okay. Is anyone doing that? Okay, so do I have anybody that has a pitch to send to the chat? Yeah, 30 seconds is over. So if you are not able to create a 30 seconds speech for yourself, in 30 seconds to sell yourself, I'm just trying to have an icebreaker here. So because that icebreaker is just for you to, have a dream role, your pitch challenge, your elevator pitch challenge. What will you say if you're offered a dream job in 30 seconds? That is not just an icebreaker. This is your first career branding exercise. So how do you perform? That is it. How did you perform on that presentation of yours. And that is how you need to know, that is a pitch elevation. And then today I will be talking about one of these things. I will be, by the end of this session, you will understand employability from a strategic HR lens. You compare the global and the local career development standards. You discover tools for career acceleration. Then you reflect on your own personal roadmaps. Learn the 4 V's for strategic career growth. And you will be able to answer some questions. And what are those questions? Where I am now, what do I want? What do I need? And what is my next steps? So all of this, you will be able to answer the question. And from there, I will be talking about employability. It seems I saw someone that quickly put something in the chat right now. Okay, is that, okay, that's a delightsome. Wow. I'll be talking about this as time goes on. So, what is definition of employability? It's not simply, employability is not simply about getting a job. It is about developing the skills, behaviors, mindsets that you need to gain. Not only gaining, you need to maintain and transition between jobs in an evolving labor market. That is one global view of what HR, what employability is from HR perspective. But I dig deep and I went into literatures. Eulage Arnault says employability is a capability to move self-sufficiently within the labor market to realize potential through sustainable employment. Meaning employability equals to skills plus attributes plus career management. You've heard a lot of stuff today, and I've heard a lot of, a common thing, both from Dr. Abdullahi and from Dr. Ekudayo. I've heard that, and it's something that you need to start putting down what is common to all of these presenters. And what is employability is not just, it's a broader set of, attributes and capability that enables you as an individual to contribute meaningfully in the workplace and continue to learn. And that is part of, that is what employability, that means it makes you sellable. You are employable at any point in time. And when you use USAM model, U says you should understand. S says you should know you have skills. What are those skills that you have? Efficacy is the E, and the M is called the metacognition. Metacognition is your self-awareness, reflection. You're learning from experience. You need that experience. I've been hearing something about volunteering, internship. Okay, if I need money, internship sometimes is not about money. Volunteering is not about money. With my own experience, I volunteer for every kinds of organization. And by the time I was getting a job, 8 people in that organization actually wanted to be my referee. And just because I just want to learn. You need that self-efficacy. You need that boldness, motivation, adaptability. Because employability is a moving target. It's not about who you are on paper, on your resume. It is about how you apply what you know. That is employability. How do you apply the knowledge from school? How do you apply all of those experiences? That is employability. And more importantly, when it comes to the Nigerian context, we have, according to, to the statistics, we have youth unemployment in Nigeria That is according to the MBS 2024. But so many employers, they struggle to find qualified candidates. Do you think the issue is lack of education? No. It is the lack of skills for job readiness. There's a skill gap, but it's not a degree gap. It is not qualification gap. It is not, whether first class or second class. It is that skill gap for job readiness. If you memorize everything in the school, or in your book, or you use ChatGPT to do all of those stuff, if you need to apply the experiences, how do you cope with that? So that is why you need to understand, even in the global context of it, the trending skills. What shapes how can you match up to that global standards? To position yourself, even within your environment, where are you right now? What do you need? What are you doing? We talk about AI and automation. Do you have those literacy skills? How much of development do you have when it comes to tech, tech knowledge? Most people use ChatGPT, and I ask myself, how do you use ChatGPT? You just use it, generally to produce you some general answers. If we are writing a research, or you're writing a topic, you put it in ChatGPT. If you don't know what to give ChatGPT to write a meaningful, essay for you, you won't be able to comprehend it. Do you have ability to work independently, even across time zone? Because I know, recently I spoke with a guy, he's in Nigeria there, he's a student, a 300 level, in OAU, and he's working, I only asked him to do Coursera, data analysis. He only did data analysis on Coursera. He's employable right now. He works across his time zone, and in the morning he goes to work. He goes to school. Another trending thing globally is the gig economy. Are you building portfolio of skills and experiences? What do you post on your social media? Before employers will call you, they will look at your, Facebook. They will look at what you post, what you are doing, what your engagements are. Globally, soft skills dominates, it dominates the arena. Emotional intelligence, technical ability. When it comes to, recently with the World, the World Economic Forum, the top skills in demand for 2025 is analytical thinking, creativity, resilience, technology use. When you go to UK, the CIPD, they emphasize on self-management, career self-management, your experience, your behavioral competence. If you check LinkedIn for 2024, most of the things I see, as recruiters, well, most of because most of the time I use that to also update myself. They prioritize your soft skills, your adaptability, and your growth. So technical skills can get you interview, your human skills gets you the job. I will say that again. Technical skills can get you the interview, but your human skills, your soft skills is what gets you the job. So you need to start developing that skill right now while you are in school. Because right now there's what we call, when it comes to local, when we come back to Nigeria, having spoken with a lot of students and collecting data, there's this academics and industry mismatch. Students graduate without relevant, market skills. There's this weak, we'll be mentioning, internship. There's weak internship culture, lack of hands-on experience. Soft skills are neglected, poor communication, poor critical thinking, no professional behavior, undervalue volunteering. It's not, that's why I said volunteering is not about money. You know, because strategic unpaid work, we often overlook it because we just want to get, we just want to get money. And most of the time, students don't do gatekeeping. When you don't do gatekeeping, then you don't get opportunities. Gatekeeping is networking. When you don't do gatekeeping, you don't network, you don't communicate, you don't get opportunities. The opportunities you should be getting, you lose it, in a jiffy. When you don't want to talk to people, you don't want to network, you don't want to ask questions, then how do you move from that spot where you are? I'm talking about, from the insight of HR, with having dealing with clients or because one of my area is, my specialized area is, immigrant workforce integration. I say because one of the things that HR is looking for, they want to see that you are job ready. Not, you are job ready in terms of your academic qualification. You can adapt. For example, tell me what to do mindset or cultural fit. You don't research the company. I've seen so many students or so many job seekers going for interview without, without research on the company, whether that company value matches yours. What about Bruno? And one of those things HR will look for, they want to see a proactive behavior. You don't have to wait for instruction all the time. Then you should develop some digital literacy skills. Basic Microsoft Word, you know how to format Microsoft Word and take you places. It can help you to, to gain some experience that you think will not, that people know that HR is looking for. I remember I've been to a job whereby they were looking for how to, work with their presentation, and you just pack up at the, by the time they're about to start. I told the lady, can I help out? Oh, you know how to use presentation, PowerPoint? I said, yeah. And just in a minute, I fixed it. And that's how I got a contract from them. That's how I became their consultant. And when they want to do any presentation, I have templates all the way for them. So you need to, as a graduate, because for me, even as a person, I volunteered for months. Doing different stuff, from social media posting to writing reports to helping, newcomers and all of that. And at the end of the day, I still get a job. As a graduate, as a student in the school, what does your LinkedIn looks like? What does it look like? What's your portfolio about? When you look at it, because LinkedIn is a passport for you to be visible. It's that visibility that creates opportunities for you. When you post you post some, there's what I call 221. Post something about your course. Oh, I attended a class today and this is what I learned, and this is how this relates to my career. This is how this works, with this particular, industry. You post that on Monday. On Tuesday, you went to class and you develop a new skill. Oh, guys, I just you write a very good, how to be, use this. For example, I learned about problem solving in a new way. And you write about problem solving as a student, how it relates to you, how you have used it to know how you are going to use it to solve problems, and how students can use it to solve problems. You post that on Tuesday. And on Thursday, you want to introduce yourself to the LinkedIn and to the LinkedIn community. You want to tell them this is who I am. I'm studying this also course, and this is what I'm hoping to get. You introduce yourself, personal branding. They should know on LinkedIn, they should know you for something. You know, if you are an agricultural student, they should know you for agricultural content. If you're a computer science student, they should know you for computer science content. And you are even you post daily, you begin to get notice. You can be invited, there's internship remotely. UK does this a lot. I've done one like that. UK does this a lot, and they can invite you for remote internship, because once you are able to, to do things like this, then you get noticed. I don't want to dwell on self-study, because we've heard that from Dr. Abdullahi and from Dr. Ekudayo. We've heard about self-study, we've heard about certification. Start preparing for certification in your area of career, in your course of work, in what you're studying in school. I want to imagine that you are a computer science student, and you don't know what are the certification and what area do you want to concentrate on. I'm gonna give you an experience. Right from childhood, one of my first daughter told me and said, "Mom, I love kids and I want to be a pediatric surgeon." I told her, "You will tell me this next year. I'm giving you 5 years. After 5 years, if you come back to tell me the same thing, then I will allow you." After 5 years, every year she will keep telling me she wants to be a pediatric surgeon. And today she's working her way, she's working her way towards it. As a GSS1 student, my daughter finished Nigerian Constitution. And I get report every week when the teacher misbehave, my daughter will quote Nigerian Constitution. Today, she's working her way in law industry. So how are you doing? Because I just want us to make this so practical. I just want to be able to, ask yourself, as we're talking about this, you don't wait to be trained. You train yourself. That is the lesson. Don't wait to be trained. Train yourself. What experience or skills do you already have that you are undervaluing? What action can you take to bridge your skill gap? For a better part of the money, you've had a lot, and you really want to put all of this into practice. As I'm speaking, going through this presentation, you want to begin to list them down. What are those experiences that you have? What are those skills that you have that that you can use? Because in today's hiring process, attitude, adaptability, action, they beat some qualifications. They beat some qualifications. For qualification, your academic is the foundation, because without it, most of the employers, will not even consider you. And that is why, when you are beginning to, while you're in school, you can develop yourself. What about your future training? You've heard about, there's so many free. I started from, Alison, learning different things on Alison, different trainings, attending different conferences as a student. Getting free certificates, different, Open University, there are a lot of courses online globally that actually aligns with your course of study. They are free. In Coursera says you should pay money. When you sign up for Coursera, apply for scholarship, apply for financial aids. I've done data analysis on Coursera. I've done law courses. I've done all one that relates to me. I've done HR courses in Coursera. All of these are free. Google Analytics, I've done it, is free. There's so many things you can actually lay your hands on that can help you to become employable. And you need to start working on that. And in the local context of it, you know, when it comes to value, you need to build a strong value, build a strong LinkedIn. I'm still gonna analyze this, but I'm just trying to show you things that can that we neglect that you need to do. So don't just sit as a student, because if you must accelerate your career, it takes discipline. It takes you to work so hard for it. Because career acceleration, is not really, it's not, oh, how hard, I need to show people that I'm serious. No, it's about working strategically to grow faster than average in your chosen path. Career acceleration is about you working strategically to grow faster than average in your chosen path. It involves a series of deliberate actions that are aimed at rapidly increasing your trajectory by getting more in-demand skills. Go online, search in-demand skills in your path of career, and you begin to work towards it. You attend training that will help you with it. Volunteer. 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week is something that will add value at the end of the day. You can get a recommendation from a lecturer, even for helping, to mark paper or to help in any small way. It goes a long way. Gaining a cross-functional experiences and showcasing leadership potential. That is part of career acceleration. That helps you to grow faster. Because in the world of today, career paths, they're really obsolete, because there's different of when it comes to traditional way. Because, for example, I remember when let me say maybe like 10-15 years ago, you need to wait for maybe 10 to 10 years before you get promotion. But in the global world today, you hand your growth through skills and strategy. But of course, it's good to rely on career, on your degree, on your qualification. But you need to when it comes to this point, right, the trending thing right now, is demonstrating the value. It's demonstrating the value that you have. I remember when I was working, we are always concerned about job security. Oh, is my job secure? When you are going to work, you're always considering, oh, if my job is secure, yes or no. But now, it is growth and mobility, growth and mobility mindsets. You need to grow by yourself. When you grow, you have something to offer. You have values. And that is why when you have a skill mastery, especially when it comes to digital, this time around, a digital skill, leadership skills, communication skills, when it comes to data analytics, public speaking, you design thinking, creative thinking, solving problems when you start from solving problems, of another student, you're solving problem in the department, you're solving problem, in your group, you're solving problem in a group work. That is how that is one of those skills. What are those skills that you naturally display that you don't value them? Your LinkedIn presence is very important. It saddens my heart when I see students that post, people that post a lot of stuff on social media. Employers and recruiters are looking at you. That is one of the things they will go before they will think of calling you. What do you share as a content? Have you, for example, you can decide to call 2-3 students. Oh, I want to make a presentation and I want you to listen to me. Just decide to make a presentation by yourself. For every organization that I work, I make sure I make myself relevant. something that I would do that I know that has not, even if it has nobody has done, if it has been done, I want to improve on it. And that is how I make myself relevant. While I'm not in that organization, people still reach out to me. You've heard about mentors. I don't want to go back to mentors anymore. In the global world today, you need a mentor. You need a sponsor. A mentor will guide you, giving you advice on different things. A sponsor will advocate for you in the room where you cannot enter. But if you have not volunteered, if you have not done things that is remarkable, when you don't have a sponsor, when you have a sponsor, doors opens for you. For you having a sponsor is a skill. Don't forget, a mentor guides you, a sponsor advocates for you in the room, in that space where you cannot enter into, where you can't enter there yet. I can't start sharing so many experiences for you. This is my personal experience I'm bringing to you. Micro credentials, micro learning, attend workshops. When you attend workshops, what you have learned from that, just don't attend and to while away the time. Oh, they asked me to attend and I've attended. You want to attend, to post on social media, take picture with keynote speakers, ask them questions, engage them, get their contacts. You are beginning to have, you are creating a sponsor and choose group of people you can use as sponsor and as mentors. Dr. Abdullah has spoken about that. Dr. Ekudayo has spoken about that. So you want to develop yourself. And one of the framework that actually worked for me is for you to have a vision, a clear career direction. Where do I want to go? That is it. If you are able to answer that question, what is my course and where do I want to go? Then value. What are those skills? What are those unique skills that is so particular to me? What do I know how to do best? What are my strengths? When I'm sharing the SWOT, you'll be able to come to terms with that. What do I offer that matters? What do I offer that touches positively, in the lives of others, that affect other people? Then your feasibility, your online presence, your real-world networking. Who knows what I can do? Who can vouch for me that, oh, I know what she can do. I know what he can do. And I speak of velocity. The way I speak of velocity is I ask myself, how fast am I growing? How fast am I learning? How fast am I action? Am I really speeding up my experiences? Am I learning? I'm never tired of learning. So which one resonates with you in all of this? You need to have a vision of value. You need to be visible. People need to see you. Then you need to grow fast. You need to grow fast. And most importantly, your attitudes. These are my employability diamond. This is what I use for myself. My skills, my knowledge, my experience, my attitude, and my career management. And this is how I've been able to work on myself. And I adapted this from York, from a particular book. That's why I call it, employment diamond. What are those skills? Begin to write them down. What, the knowledge, what do you know? What experience do you have? What are your attitudes? Some of you will see your lecturer, you just take the other way. They are coming this way, then you branch this way. To greet your lecturer is, the lecturer is going to ask me to do this, ask me to do that. It will pay off at the end of the day. And how are you managing your career? Who are your advisor? Do you have one? So all of this, you need to put them into use. Then at the same time, you need to know the analysis of yourself. What are your strengths? Your biggest success? What are your achievements? What are those positive personality traits? If you want, there are different software you can use to determine what kind of strength you have. If you don't have it, if you don't know how to go about it, you can't even, you don't even know how to analyze yourself. There are different, softwares that you can use. Go online, okay, personality traits, it will give you a lot of free website, places that you can actually analyze your strengths. And what are those weaknesses you need to develop on? What are you missing? Is it that you don't know how to, you don't have any technical experience, you don't know, most of the students, we use social media, we use email a lot. Do you really know how the rules of emails? Do you know the rules that guides reply all of those things, how to send a proper academic email? Or you just want to oh, hey, you want to send a real well-constructive emails. You need to know all of this. What are those opportunities? What are those career opportunities, educational opportunities in your personal life, in anywhere else? What are those things? And what are the barriers? If you want to start, you need to analyze all of these things. You need to know them. What are the barriers? Do you know, what are those what are the initiatives I can use? What are the things that are hindering my initiatives? What are the high potentials that I have? What are those things that I can really do that can make me, to advance? The willingness and the ability to learn from experience and apply that learning, in a new situation is what we call the learning agility. You have that capacity, that capability, because you have that willingness. You have all the ability to learn it from your experience. Because you are the CEO of your own brand. So you need to start to act on it. So if you are the CEO of your business, how will you handle it? Your life, you are the CEO of your life, of your personal brand, of your career. So you need to work on it and learn on it. And when it comes to what it comes to from the HR perspective for all of these things, from the HR perspective, either globally, even for every HR that is really well seasoned, of course they need your career. They prefer you to have a degree, but that degree is not still enough. Have you asked yourself, I have first class, I had the example that was given, the first class student wasn't taken, but every other person was taken. My daughter was going to write MCAT, which is a medical exam, but it's not about the medical exam, whether you pass or fail. Once they interview you and your behavior, you don't smile, you don't care, you don't do anything, you've already failed all the exams. That even your degree, they will not, that will not count. So what about your grade? What did you learn from school? Did the school, many students, that's why when you go to school, know the system, okay, I just want to learn and get it done with. You don't want to go to school and learn and get it done with. I saw Dr. Kudayo mention something like that when he was presenting. You need to assimilate, understand and learn from that experience. And that is why you need to write a reflection. If you are a student, you don't write a reflection of everything you learn in a day. Your learning process it's not complete. Technical skills, you need it. You need the soft skills, you need adaptability skills. The job history. A student that is in school, when you get out of school and you want to get a job in a multi-million naira company, which project have you done? Which work have you done? What have you volunteered? What are those steps, the situation, the task, the action that you have taken? What are the results that you can demonstrate? Do you culturally fit into that environment? Does your value align with your, with that organization for your potential growth? No, as an HR, I don't know, I don't no longer, no, I don't hire for what you've done. They hire for what you can do next. They use what you have done to determine what you can do next. That is what HR, the summary of what HR will look like. I've seen, a particular graphic designer his portfolio was really so outstanding. He had a reputation, a very good one on LinkedIn. He could explain his creativity. I had really, very good, impact. And I asked him, why didn't you first display your academic qualification? He said, yeah, academic qualification is the foundation, and this is what makes me who I am. The experience, the job, and everything is what will give me this. And after that, you ask for my qualification, is right there. And I learned something from that guy. So you need to increase your, develop a work readiness. Because for today, an HR, they value volunteering a lot. They value internship. They value freelancers. Recruiters search, LinkedIn before CV, before resume. And most of the time, I've seen some job interviews or job posters. Do you know the difference between a resume and a CV? A resume is a 2-page that summarizes everything you've done. A CV is called curriculum vitae. It's you can do as as long as it is. While applying to the university, I gave them 11 pages of CV. But if I'm applying for any other any other job, they ask me for a resume. I'm giving them 2 to 3 pages. That is not more than 500 words. Because an HR doesn't want to keep reading a lot. They will just throw it in the trash if they know it doesn't make meaning. That is because things are they are even the hiring process, the selection process, they are actually upgrading right now. So if you have not been volunteering, think of an organization you just want to volunteer for to gain experience in your career path. And what I would advise as an HR, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be prepared. You need to be self-aware and solution-focused. If you have evidence, you have some project, really so good project. It's something you can go to your lecturer to talk to them. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to be able to help, to benefit students. If I may share one experience, since I got into my master's, my master's program is directly to the PhD and all of that. I've been developing a program for international students, and because of that, I've been trying to help international students and to develop a kind of a simulation program for them. And at the end of the day, I was out of nowhere, someone just recommended and said, okay, I need to make a presentation somewhere. It's all the lecturer that I've worked for, I've been a research assistant to. They actually, they're the one that facilitate all of my presentation to make sure my presentation was what a global standard. I didn't lift a finger. I just need to go because I do all the writings. I just told them this is my PowerPoint. They make sure everything was good. And they took it upon themselves to work for me because I've already worked for them. So we've been saying this, volunteering, internship is not about money. So you need to make sure your LinkedIn is well optimized. Make sure you have a STAR, method. A STAR method, make sure situation, task, action, and results. This is, an HR doesn't want to hear storytelling. Tell them what happened, tell them what you did, tell them the action you took, the impact of it, and what is the results. That is the story, the STAR story. Nothing more like, That's storytelling. The only storytelling that the nature understand is the star. So make sure you develop yourself in all. You can practice with someone. You can practice with someone in order to develop this. All of this can be useful when you're having a remote job or internship, or you're going to do an international certification. These are part of things, especially the STAR method, they will always ask you. And when it comes to I think it has been mentioned in the church, in the mosque, NGO, student association, campus, helping a lecturer in order to, they will give you a recommendation, because your global future may start in a very local way. Why you think it may start, your global recognition of the future, it starts from in a very small way. So think of, right now, you want to think of someone you can actually go to, you can reach out to for guidance. Think of someone you can reach out to for a referral. Do you think the person will give you a referral? If you have not been doing well in networking, you want to start building the habits of nurturing your professional relationship. You want to start developing that relationship, you start little by little before until you get there. Have you missed an opportunity because you were not feasible, or you are not ready, or because you failed to connect when you're supposed to connect? Do you build the trust before, do you build trust, when you're connecting to, with people? Who did they know you to be? Can they readily give you, a referral? For example, for LinkedIn optimization, LinkedIn is your digital handshake. Most recruiters will Google you, they want to check your social media, and then LinkedIn is their go-to. Your profile picture, your profile photo must be professional and friendly. Smile. Make it, look nice. Your headline, the headline of your LinkedIn should include your value proposition. For example, you're in the finance or your accounting. I am, an accounting graduate. Or what you're proposing to be, I'm a research assistant, a community-based, because I've done research assistant for 1, 2, 3, professors, and I've attended a community-based research, which I'm already working on one, and I'm hoping to be a community-based researcher. And that is the kind of portfolio I'm building. And about you, when you are writing an intro section of the LinkedIn, you need to talk about your skills, what you're good at, and what your personality is. Any experiences you're putting on your LinkedIn, make sure you use a star format to showcase your achievements. Whether you've attended workshop, you can upload it. You've done a blog post. You can create a LinkedIn, page in order to be sending out. You can even sending out newsletters. If you have attended any presentation or any workshop, you want to post it there. Or you can ask people to endorse you. Update your skills. When last did you update your LinkedIn? When last did you update your LinkedIn? I checked it every now and at least I go through my profile once in a month in order to check I'm okay. You are not just building a profile, you are building credibility. And that is how people begin to notice you. And that is most of the things that you need to consider when you are building a LinkedIn optimization. Professional communication is very important. Develop yourself how to communicate professionally. I don't want to talk about internship or volunteering because we've talked about it a lot today. So you want to make sure you build a professional communication. Communicate in a professional way, in a professional manner, so that people will know that what you know, they know that, oh, this is what, you know, this guy, he won't talk this way, is a really, really so professional, you know, in his dealings. And there's this 7-20-10, you know, framework. It says 70% experience, 20% 20% others, you know, 10% 20% education or 10% others. You know, experience comes from jobs, from real project that you've done. You know, when you talk of mentor feedback, communities, you know, what you've done, networking, you know, social gathering, you know, you learn through all of those areas. Formal education, courses, degrees, certifications, you know, you learn through those areas and you build your profile through that area. And when you talk about digital portfolio, you want to talk about, okay, either a project or a report, slides, you know, certificate, put it on the, you know, every certificate you got, put it right there, snap, you know, take a picture and post it right there, write something. Because if your CV says you can do it, your portfolio should prove it. If your CV says you can do stuff, let your portfolio prove it. Because, you know, most of the time, when I get a CV, I look at a CV, okay, let's see what is happening on LinkedIn. And that is my go-to. I want to see those people in your networks. I want to see all of those things, you know, that you are doing. So I talked about mentorship and career partnership, motivation, taking advice. You know, I call it, you know, a coach is a mentor that gives advice. That's my number one C. And I have a champion who is my sponsor. They advocate for me. There's nowhere I cannot get to. They advocate, you know, for me. Oh, Stella can do this, she can do that, she can do that. And I have the connectors. The connectors are this networking, you know, community that introduces me to where I don't even know about. So, do you have a coach, a mentor? Do you have a champion who is a sponsor? Do you have a connector? Do you network? Who do you rely on for your career growth? Employability is actually really inside you as a student, as an individual. You just need to structure it. And it takes with strategy. You need structure and you need strategy to to bring that employability out of you. So, who are your C's? If you don't have a C, if you don't have any C yet, just become a C for somebody. Become a C for somebody in order to advance your career as well. You might be asking, oh, am I starting from the scratch? You're starting from experience. Build it from there. You know, in the phase of your career, what you know is very important. And it's even more powerful who you know and what they know you for. What does your lecturer know you for? You just want them to, you know, recommend you. Did they actually know you for, you know, really, have you built trust with them? The power of networking, you know, networking is not just for extrovert or, okay, I'm an extrovert, or the extrovert is for, you know, that's a job, you know, networking for them. Job seeker, that is for them. It's about building genuine relationships that unlocks opportunities. That is networking. Building genuine relationships that, you know, unlocks opportunities. So you begin to build that. Now, I want to talk about soft skills. What are your ethics? What kind of soft skills do you put on your resume or your CV? What does your CV looks like? Looking at, you know, there are different formats of CV that you can actually look into. There are so many software that can help you with, you know, building resumes or CVs. When you follow the STAR method, you can actually have a great resume. Go on LinkedIn, check people's profile to see how their profiles are. Some people upload their resume, they upload their CV. You can easily see it right there. I'm sure if you go online, you will get a lot of CV that that can actually that resonate with your career path. Don't be a computer science student and you're using a resume of a graphics person. A graphics person will use color, will use picture and all of that just to demonstrate, or you're using a resume. Most of the time when I receive some resume, you need, for example, I learned there's something new that I learned. We use the same resume for every job. You apply for administrative assistant, you are using the same resume. You need to read that job specification. You need to read everything about that job and make sure your skills correspond to that job, and make your resume accordingly. Not just one generalized resume. An HR can easily toss it away. For example, if you ask me, I can be different things at different times. Oh, you want me to be an educator? I've done things that has to do with education. As an HR, I've done things like that. As a legal, as a paralegal, I've done things like that. And I can always prepare my resume accordingly. So watch your resume before you submit it. Have somebody to review it with you. The cover letter you're writing, don't write one generalized cover letter and submit. The HR one of the things they want to see is you have the ownership of what you're sending in. The soft skills, you talk about attention for details. That's one of the things. Attention for details is one of the things. As an HR, that's one of the things I will look out for, because I want to know whether you pay attention to the job description. I want to know. So you need to make sure your resume, your cover letters, is well aligned. At the same time, because when you are making I just want to quickly retrace about networking. You can network with academics. I think that has been mentioned. Your professors, alumni, research, the community. Find someone, you have different mentors, different networking environment. In your career path, find someone, find network. If your friends is the type that goes to party all the time, you know what to do. So the kind of network you're building, you need to look into it as well. And then let's talk about your personal career roadmap. You can provide, this person, I said, at the beginning, where, that you will be able to know where you are now. Ask yourself right now, where are you now? What do I want? Where am I now? Okay, what is your current role, your level? What are you doing right now? What are you engaged with? Are you engaged with any activity or in the school? Are you working with any, you give yourself some, ask yourself, how do I develop this? What do I want? What is your career goal or vision? What are those skills? What do I need? The skills, the credentials, the experience, the network, and what is my next step? Dr. Ekudayo talks about courses, learning. What are your next steps? Are you getting a mentor? Are you doing a course? Do you want to update your portfolio? You need to move ahead. Have a self-reflection. Then establish the framework that works best for you. Vision. There are different kinds of frameworks I've talked about today. Vision, feasibility, velocity. You want to ask yourself, what is the frequency? At what frequency am I going? What are the expectations? What am I supposed to be doing? Then how do I maintain it? Then how do I forge ahead? All of these questions will guide you to be able to build a successful career, to make sure you position, for you to be well positioned, and not just well positioned, strategically positioned. It takes preparation. It takes working at it. And you need to act now. You want to pick one skills to build, pick one feasibility channel. LinkedIn, you want to start posting. You want to start, let them people know, because when you post on LinkedIn about your course, about your career, they know that this is, this person knows what he's doing. For example, you're posting about leadership. When you're done, you say hashtag leadership, hashtag university, Akure University, hashtag school, you do that different people will see you. They will see, it will resonate with one particular, post anywhere. When you post your hashtag, if it's engineering, hashtag engineering. If it's computer science, hashtag Microsoft, if it's Cisco or whatever that you've done. If it's Google, hashtag data analytics, whichever one you've done. Identify one mentor, identify one coach, one sponsor, one connector, your go-to. What do you want to start doing? Potential is meaningless without execution. Potential is meaningless without execution. You need to be motivated. And I said it, the prepare, I use this prepare framework to actually check in on my plans with myself. I plan, setting clear objective, not overboard yourself, outline the steps that you need to achieve them, gather research by gathering relevant information and insights to build some solid understanding, assess what kind of resources you have, do a SWOT analysis, then practice or to hone your skills, to repeatedly improve your skills, to enhance performance and for you to develop confidence. And every time you are coming back to make necessary changes because you are not perfect. You're making necessary changes, you're polishing yourself and refining your skills for maximum effectiveness. Then you execute, put your plan into action. Do some presentation. You just want to know, okay, I just want to help. In this area, I can create a study group. I just want to do this. You can always, put that into action. There are different ways you can put it into action. You don't get promoted for doing your job well. You get promoted for demonstrating potentials, learning agility, and solving real problems. And that is how people know you. So, employability is intentional. It is intentional because your career is not a ladder. It is a jungle gym. You climb, you swim, you fall, pivot, but you never stop moving. That is your career. You never stop moving. And then it is possible when you combine strategy with skills and visibility, attitude, you bring all of these things together. And you begin to accelerate before you know it, you begin to advance. You begin to advance and people ask, how are you able to do it? If it's preparation model you want to use, this might also know, I prepare a lot of things to put myself in check a lot. And these are the kind of things that I keep doing in order to also test some, real experience with me. So you need to start learning to develop yourself, to develop skills for you to position yourself to be employable, to accelerate your career, for you to grow in that career that you are in. So I just want to say once again, a very big thank you to everyone listening. And to everyone that wants to invest in their future today through this program, that you want to invest in your your future, I just want to say thank you to you for attending this, conference, because it's a beginning of a big thing to, in your career. So, but peradventure you want me to, optimize your LinkedIn, or you want me to have a look, you want me to have a peek at it, Mr. Emmanuel has my, email. Just mention, GACFOS, then I can, you can just look me up on LinkedIn. Then we can have, we can have a chat and we can have a look at it, and we can see how, or you need any help whatsoever that you want to, okay, you want me to optimize something, you want me to have a look, as much as possible, as much as I have the time, I will be able to help. So thank you everyone for listening. Dr. Ajulo, I really appreciate this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. If your CV show you can do it, let your portfolio. Stella Akomolafe 2025. If your CV show you can do it, let your portfolio. I think that is a strong takeaway. I listened to all she said, all through the mention, and this particular part caught my attention. All of the assignments will be given from year 1 to year 5. Shouldn't be a waste. There should be a way you can capture them in your CV, capture them in your GitHub, capture them in your resume. They are part of you, right? And that's exactly what I want to say. If you claim you can do it, then let your portfolio show that you can actually do it. What are the days where you claim you came from the university and got no experience? Where will you be throwing all of those assignments? Where will you be throwing all of those project work, group work? Where will you be putting them? You have some final students here that are done. How, to what level have you showcased your experience and your achievements? 6 12-month projects is a very big job. So let your portfolio show all of your progression from year 1 to year 5. And you'll be amazed how much of articulations and articles you have in your portfolio. Thank you, Mrs. Stella. We really appreciate you. Thank you for taking time to be with us. So we want to entertain questions. And again, maybe before I forget, thank you again for volunteering. You see, that is volunteering. That you can actually come up with what you have in your resume or in your CV, and she can help you to structure them in such a way it's going to be marketable. That's volunteering. So she's willing to give support to give you all the speed that is required. So what would say big thank you to this as well. We really appreciate you for this. All right, so questions. If you have any questions online, please just drop these questions. We're going to pick them up and get them answered. In-house, do you have any question? Any question from the in-house? Any question? I have one there. Any question? All right. Mrs. Stella, can you respond to this in within 30 seconds to 1 minute? What will you be recommending? What will you, as an HR expert, what will you be recommending for a young graduate who is about to interface with an employer out there, whether via interview or just being recruited or to be recruited? What kind of preparation will you be recommending for a young mind who is about to launch out there into the markets? What kind of preparation?
Yeah.
It's not fearless. Even for some of us that are already at that level, it comes with a lot of things. So what kind of preparation would you recommend for this young man? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. So, as a young mind, that is just, getting like a fresh graduate oven baked, that is just going into the, labor, market. Yeah, that's why you need to start your preparation from school. Because when you start your preparation from school, you know, with all of those things, all of those things, even if you have not volunteered, let's say, you're in your final year right now, the little time you have, you can start volunteering and put it right there. Now, one of the things is, as a young mind going into, job market, when you're going for an interview for you to prepare, when you're writing your resume, preparing your resume, you want to tell employer, because I remember my first resume actually stated all of the project, all of the assignment, that I have these skills because I wrote this assignment and I demonstrated these skills. I put it right there, that I demonstrated these skills through this project that I submitted to the to the Department of Public Administration. I put all of those things together, because at that, and meanwhile, I've been working with NGOs, I've been working with different people, and also when you volunteer in the church, for all those places you have been in the church, you are in a choir, you are this, tell them that you have the skills to help, that all of those things, you need to put it there as volunteering. And if they are asking, okay, who can testify to this? Your pastor, your head of department, in the church or in the mosque or in the, wherever you've done that, they are there. If you have done anything with your lecturer, that is why you need to make sure you build trust with your lecturer. The trust does not just come in a day. So you need to put all of those things in your resume. Make sure when you are writing your resume, after because right now you don't really need your PO box or whatever. Just make sure you put your name, just the location where you are from. They don't really put a date and all of that. Date or birth date, where am I from? You don't put all of those ones in your resume. You write a professional, career summary. You call it professional summary, put it after your name. Then after that, you can demonstrate your skills. Read the job, profile well, and make sure you have a skill that matches to that job description, and make sure you can explain it. You don't write word for word what you see in a job description. I'm an HR, I will know the next thing is, I have dustbin full. You don't do that. You just use your own expression. And that is why if you have started to talk about your project, that is why one of the things you need to have a good portfolio online for you to be visible. So you need to prepare for interviews. That's why you need to employ the STAR method. What do you know? Even if you don't have experience in that scenario, if I present you with a scenario, what will you do? That is the question. You don't necessarily say, okay, I've done this. You don't need to lie about it. But picture yourself that you are having a scenario before you. So in that scenario, what will you do? Have you been working on that skills before? The last person I interviewed for an organization, and she doesn't have people have they apply for jobs they don't qualify for really, but they give it a try. And she said, by the time she was done selling herself, is that I've never done this job before, but I have these skills, because these skills is, this skills is used for this, and this, and with these skills I can do this. By the time she was done, everybody, okay, and the next thing my boss said, oh, Stella, we have to deal with that because that's our no jurisdiction. So you even need to sell yourself. Even if you have not done that job before, you need to understand the skills that is needed. How you will, use that skill, how you will manage that skill. And you want to make sure, you want to tell them, oh, I'm having a training on these particular skills right now. There's nothing bad. I know there's nothing bad when you have done your interview or whatever for you to, because some of them will, I do ask them, can I update you when I'm done with my training? I've done that a lot to get some, to get through to employers and all of that. I'm just checking in, and guess what? I just finished this particular program, this particular training, which I know is very useful in this area. But peradventure, you're considering another position, I'm available. I've done that a lot. So, as a fresh graduate, make sure you have a professional resume or CV. All your skills should be intact. Check on their interviews. Indeed gives like the good one. Then Workable.com has a good interview on different careers. No careers. Glassdoor also does that also. So you just need to check. They do have different interview questions that relate to whichever job, and you just need to go through them. Find someone to practice with. Don't just say, oh, I have an interview, I will practice sample questions. You need someone, if you might be surprised, if you are practicing interview with your friend, you will start sweating. You will start sweating even for the first time that you are practicing, interview questions. It's as if she's the one that will employ you. That is getting off, all of those stress off you. And, when you are in an interview, you need to relax. Be yourself as much as possible. Some HR will do some small talk for you to get you relaxed. Just, to the best of your knowledge, but make sure you can deliver. That is why you need to start building skills right now. Even if you are getting out of school soon, as much as you have, start building skills. There's no week that passes without me having learned new skills or having read or having learned something. Set a goal to learn something. You spend 1 hour on social media, spend 45 minutes on training, check your mails for 15 minutes, and you are done with. When you see a brilliant student that knows something about everything, there's nothing you talk about that they don't know about. They don't dwell too much on social media or watching movies online, or just use a better part of their time, spending it on social media. And make sure you clean up your Facebook. My Facebook is set in such a way that it's whatever I post that people see. If you post anything to tag me or whatever, if I don't approve it, it won't show on my Facebook. Because I know where I'm going, I know who I'm targeting. So clean up your Facebook. Clean up your social media. That is very important. Because now, HR will ask you, especially when you're filling form online, they will ask you to put your social media URL, in the form. It happens a lot. That's one of the global trends. You have to put it on there for them to check. So right now, if you need to clean up, you need to clean up your social media or update and upgrade your portfolio. I hope that answers the question.
That question. If you need to clean up your social media habits, then you should get everything. A big thank you to you, Mrs. Stella.
I didn't get that.
All right. A question is coming to you. We are almost saying thank you to you, but someone asked a question in us.
Oh, okay.
Let's say for a student that I'm still going back on the student for students or IT, then you have a company in mind that is willing to probably work there for your 6 months internship. Then you'll be following the activities and all that. What is the best approach to get that? Is it like physically submitting a letter to the company, or probably sending a code to you, or which do you feel like is much effective?
Okay, if I understand what you said. Okay, can you please, Mr. Dr. Madulo, can you repeat the question?
Okay, all right. He's asking now, what approach do you recommend for a student who wants to go for internship? Such a student visits the organization physically himself, or you should send a letter ahead or what a better half we should get? That is
Okay,
question.
sounds perfect. Okay, you know what? You know that one of the things that I recommend and which I've done before and that works for me, and because this is just a practical experience. I told myself I know the kind of work I know I want and the type of company I want to. So I first of all I noted all of those companies. I have 4 of them, and I went on LinkedIn to search up that organization. When I went on LinkedIn to search the organization, I look for people in that, I look for the HR, for some people in customer service, depending on the position that is, what I want to do, my career, possibly is HR. So most of the time I look for all the people in the people services or HR or whatever, and I make a friend. I send them a request. I introduce myself on LinkedIn and I sent a request. And I begin to, I take it slow because I know I'm having, in the next 3 months, I'm going to have my internship. And I also look for a staff, not only HR. I look for an employee of that company. I send a request. When I send a request, I begin to ask, how is your company? What do you guys do? I learned to know, I check on your website, you do this, this is so wonderful. So how does it, how do they work? And I asked the person to be, I begin to talk to that guy. And after a while, I told him, you know what, I'm actually looking for a job, and because I saw an opening. I said, yeah, we're a great company, we welcome people and all of that. Now, when they ask me, I said, okay, can you recommend me or can I use it as a recommendation? But because I know he has checked, later he checked my profile on LinkedIn and saw my profile. I said, okay, fine, not bad, I can do that. Then that is one way. I use, that's why you need all those connections. Through the LinkedIn, I connected, with the employee, I connected with the HR, and then when I saw the position, I applied. So I told the lady, I saw this position, I've already applied. So do I need to come in and submit a letter or something? He said, oh, okay, I will check it. Which email do you send it to? I gave the email that I send it to, and she said she will check it. And by the next time, after a couple of days, she replied back to me and said, oh, that she got the email. And that's how I got an interview. That works. So if you know, but it's always good to make connection in-house. It's very important. Try to make connection in-house if it's really, really a company that you want to work with and you've been working. And to the extreme, one of the things that I did was in this, this place where I am, because I was actually bent on getting my first job as an HR. Before my boss said, okay, she decided to say, okay, come and be HR in our company. So I walked into this organization with my resume. I dressed like a professional that I am. I dressed like a professional that I am, and I went in there. Please, I'm here to see the HR. Okay, do you have an appointment? Oh no, I'm here to discuss my job with her and all of that. Then they would know. And after that, he said, oh, she's not around, then I'll wait. I waited, and after a while, said, oh, a lady's waiting for you. And I told her, I'm here for an interview. This is my resume. And I saw a post, I talked to her in a very friendly manner, smiling. And I really told her, I really love to work for your organization because I know you people are great people. I stated all the values, how that value aligns with my objective and what I'm about to offer them. So I discussed that, and she said, oh, wow. She was surprised. And then she said, okay, fine. Do you want an interview now or you want to come back? I said, let's get the interview right now. Then she asked me to go and sit. In 15 minutes, they set up an interview for me. I got in, was given an employment letter, and then my bosses wrote, because it was I never knew she was a friend to my boss then. And my boss said, oh, you want to get my staff from me? She's already an HR, and that is how I got an HR in my own company where I was working. So is it, and also you need to be proactive as well. So because that is the way you've done it. So, but make sure you know someone, or you can, there's some companies that they wouldn't allow you in without you having an appointment or whatever. And that is why it's better to connect on LinkedIn, and make sure your LinkedIn is well polished. Send them a friend request, and then get someone that can introduce it in. If you need to apply, you can apply. Some people will say submit a application letter. Some HR, they will get it, but you know how many application letters have been submitted? Do you know whether you are the number 500 or 1,000? You are on a queue of and you are 1,000. So with HR reach you, So you need to be strategic in your approach. If it's just an online application, of course you can do online application and trust God. It will know if you have a good, resume that stands out, they will call you. But there's also so many strategies you can use as well. Thank you.
Question properly answered. Right, confidence. Right. I will tell you something about this instead of nothing. But someone is raising up his hand. Please,
Okay.
if you want to ask your question, please, Oluwafemilayo.
Sorry, it was a mistake. I don't have a question.
All right, thank you. On this note, I think if there are any other questions, please drop them on the comment chats. We'll pick them up and we'll find answers to them, send them to Mrs. Stella Akomolafe, and she should be able to respond back to you. To the in-house participants as well, thank you for staying this far.
Thank you.
Mrs. Stella Akomolafe, thank you so much. There was a time I worked at UK University before I got to Akure. And Mrs. Stella Akomolafe happens to be the Asia that interviewed me. I gave me that interview. She saw so close to me. We built that relationship is there, you see, from an employee to a friend employer. And that relationship, I think that happened in 2019. And this is 2025 again. I'm bringing out so free will appeal us to speak in a conference. And that's how it works. You can't just be too timid to your dreams. You can't just be too low to your dreams. You obviously have to be highly articulated with all of what you do, right? And very, very important. Skill is important, but at the same time, you obviously have to articulate all the needed for those skills to get into the market space. I respect you so much, Mrs. Akomolafe. Thank you for coming to GACFOS.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And all of the parts are saying thank you. So please, can we have to watch Mrs. Akomolafe? Thank you. I appreciate you. We get to talk with you.